The show is about to start. Places. The show is about to start. You have to show a look, have a look, or give a look. Faces. Beautiful. No one ugly allowed. Are you ready? Here we go. Fashion is the art. Designers are the gods. Models play the part of angels in the dark. Which one of you would ever dare to go against? That beauty is a trade and everyone is paid. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? New York, London, Paris, Milan, Tokyo. I think it's in Japan. Asia, Malaysia, Las Vegas to play. LA, if you pay my way. Fashionista. How do you look? 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 Who are you wearing? Sean, John, Calvin Klein, Donna Karan, Fashion Line, Valentino.
All the elements, a symbol of excellence. Shining, she is so flawless, incredible illusionist. Miss Gay America. Miss Gay America. The best of the best. She is beauty, she is grace. Perfect in every way. Miss Gay America.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Facebook Live. I am Miss Morgan, the queen so nice they named her thrice. I am your reigning Miss Gay Delaware America 2024, and I am your hostess with the mostest for Let's Get Down to Excellence. And I'm so excited for tonight. We have a great panel of guests for you this evening. So if you're just joining us for the first time ever, and if you're returning, make sure you hit that share button. The more people we bring in, the more people we have fall in love with the America system as a whole. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. Before we bring out our fabulous guests this evening, I just want to go over a couple things that are happening with me. Number one, I always have to give myself a shout out. In 17 days, I'll be graduating with my master's degree in nursing as a nurse practitioner. So shout that out to myself. But no, what's happening with me right now as your reigning Miss Gay Delaware, we have locked in the dates for the Delaware prelim. October 17th is the review show. So all the formers for Miss Gay Delaware will be there, as well as myself. We have October 18th, which is a Saturday, which will be the Miss Gay Delaware America pageant. And then following that, the next day on the 19th will be the Femme Division. So I am so excited for that. So make sure you mark that on your calendars. Also, fun fact about me, I am a charity worker as well. I have a charity called Nurse Morgan Helps. And on June 27th, at the Queen in Delaware, I will be hosting a charity event to raise money for children in need. So definitely mark that on your calendars as well. But without further ado, I want to bring all the guests in because we have a full panel tonight, and I can't wait to get to know each and every single one of them. First up, I have the gorgeous, the stunning. She was nominated for Best New Prelim this year. Give it up for Miss Janice Marie.
Hey.
Hello. Bill, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so excited to have you tonight. You are such a sweet angel and such great energy, and I can't wait to get to know you just a little bit more.
I'm excited.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. And up next, actually, I believe this young lady was your reigning, correct?
She was.
You'd like to introduce our next guest?
Well, my good friend, I'm honored to introduce Miss Gay Diamond America 2022, and she's now promoting with me, Brooklyn Bissett.
Yes. Hello, Miss Brooklyn. How
Hi
are
there.
you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. It's great to have you on tonight, and I can't wait to get to know you just a little bit more as well.
Thanks
I
for
love
having
that because you have a little bit of an insight on reigning as well as now promoting. So this is going
Yes.
to be very exciting and a fun chat with you as well.
Yeah. thank you.
Up next, in the excitement of promoters, up next we have a very long-standing and a grave supporter of not only the America system, but the queer community as well, which I can't wait to get to ask this person questions as well. Put your hands together for Mr. Daniel Ekstrom. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic, our promoter for Miss Gay Arizona America. Thank you for
Thank you for
joining.
having us.
I know you are an absolute wealth of knowledge, so I can't wait to hear what you have to say as well. But for
Thank you.
all the viewers and for us here in our little family that we're going to have tonight. So
Absolutely.
thank you for joining. And last but certainly not least, we have your former Miss Gay America 2017, but also a fabulous queen and a sweetheart as well. Put your hands together for Miss Susie Wong. Hello, Angel.
Hi. Hey, everybody. Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So thank you for taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy girl
Of
as well.
course.
So I
Pleasure.
appreciate
It's
you
awesome.
so much. And so why don't we get started? First, I just want to remind those viewers, if you're just joining in right now, you're here to watch a great and fantastic episode of Let's Get Down to Excellence. But if you could hit that share button, the more people we bring in, the more fun we have. And if you have any questions for anyone on the panel, or you just want to make a fun comment, please make a comment and we'll be watching along with you as well. So what I like to do is I would love for everyone to just go around and say hi to everyone that's watching, and then not only watching now, but the ones that are going to be watching later on too, to check in and tune in on what's happening with the Let's Get Down to Excellence. But I want you to introduce yourself, your title, and maybe a little bit of fun fact about you, if that's okay.
I'm Janice Marie. I am the promoter. This is my second year to promote Miss Gay Diamond America. And we won an award last year for Best New Preliminary. And I am in my 37th year as a special education teacher and administrator.
I love that. Thank you. I can't wait to ask more questions about that. 37 years.
It's a long time.
Brooklyn?
Yes. So I have been in pageantry for a long time. I was Miss Gay Arkansas America 2013, and took many years away from drag and came back a few years ago and won Miss Gay Diamond America and some other stuff too. And it's really, I feel like my time on stage is coming a little bit to a minimum. And so I've always found a way to be involved in drag and female impersonation because I love it so much. And so this is kind of a way I can use other strengths that I have. I'm also a certified teacher, K through 6, but I'm not in the classroom anymore. I teach online ESL to kids in China and then in Indonesia overnight. So it's just kind of a different schedule. I guess I'm a night owl, but yeah. I'm really excited about joining Janice this year because I love Miss Gay Diamond since I'm a winner of that pageant. So I look forward to fun stuff.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Miss Susie.
Hello, everyone, or should I say, Sawadika. I am Susie Wong, or Arnold Mint, and I am a former or forever Miss Gay America 2017, Miss Gay Western States. I won through Daniel Ekstrom's promoting, which is great. It's full circle moment here. I am a chef by trade. Most of my drag gets paid for by my cooking. And I love the art of female impersonation and drag, but I love the grandeur of it. So I like to jokingly say I don't really drag for dollars on a daily, but I do it when I have a chance to have a big stage and big production. So Miss Gay America was a perfect fit for me and my creative hobby. Fun fact, I have a cookbook coming out in October, which is a really big deal for me. And I have a daughter who's 18 months old, and she's upstairs right now, just practicing her pageant wave. So
I love it. Oh, wait, you know what? You don't have to
get them started. Yeah.
You're right. Well, thank you so much as well. Daniel, last but not least.
Hi, everyone. Daniel Ekstrom, promoter for Miss Gay Arizona, also a former promoter for Miss Gay Western States America. I just celebrated my 20th year promoting with Miss Gay America. I started in 2005 with Miss Gay Western States. And so, yeah, it's been a long, long journey with the Miss Gay America family, but it's something that's very important to me. It is something that is really kind of helped me kind of come into my own as a LGBTQ person, as a queer person. So I have a lot of extensive knowledge of the Miss Gay America system, but it's something that is really near and dear to my heart. So thank you for having me. Fun fact about me is I'm a diehard sports fan, college football, college basketball. I also am a diehard soap opera fan. I used to watch all the ABC soap operas, All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital, all of those things. So yes.
And how?
And then another thing, congratulations to you on getting your master's. I work
Oh,
for
thank
the College of Nursing at ASU, Arizona State University. So I know how big of a deal that is. So
Well,
congratulations.
thank you. Yes, I'm going to take a breath. But then my crazy mind, because I feel like I have to do it all. I just signed up for my doctorate's program too. So
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, good luck.
well, thank you. And I'm still running for America, so don't worry, I'm still coming.
Yes.
Still coming. I'll always make time for that. So I'm just going to dive in because first of all, I've already learned so much about the four of you in just your intros, and I'm so excited to see what else we can uncover. Daniel, I'm going to kind of come to you first, if that's okay. I want to ask you a little bit about, because you have a lot of longevity with the system, and I think before that, I think I kind of want to know how you got started with the America system and what drew it to you.
Well, it's funny because I always blame Lucinda Holiday for getting me involved. I currently live in Phoenix, but I grew up in Tucson, and that's where Lucinda's from. And so one day out of the blue, she came up to me and my then partner and said, you know, we think you guys, I think that you guys would be perfect to promote a preliminary to Miss Gay America. Had no idea what it was. I think I'd been to one pageant. I think I'd been to like one drag show. I was probably 25 years old. And I said, well, I don't know what any of this is about. You know, can you give us more information? She's like, sure, come with us to Little Rock. You can go see what Miss Gay America is all about. So we got on a plane and flew to Little Rock, Arkansas. And that was the year that Rachel Eriks gave up and Raquel Chevalier won. And we did it was still in Little Rock. It was at the Discovery. Norman was still the promoter for the national pageant. And, you know, I sat through that first night, and it was back then it started at like 8 and it didn't end until 2 or 3 p.m. to 2 or 3 a.m. It was a long night, but I just remember sitting there and going, oh my gosh, you know, I had a huge obsession with everything like Miss America, Miss Universe, and Miss USA. And so, you know, seeing that there was actually people in my community that could do that and that did it, and that it was such a long standing pageant, I absolutely was hooked the first time that I went to Miss Gay America, and we went back to Tucson and we created Miss Gay Western States. And it's been kind of part of my blood, you know, ever since. And it's just something that it gives me an outlet to be creative in a way. You know, I get to do it through people. You know, obviously, I got to do it through Susie, and I think Susie's one of the most creative queens that we've seen come through it all, I think. But you know, for me, it's just getting to do it. And I love seeing these people live their dreams. And if I can have any, you know, small piece of that, you know, I'm all for it. And you know, the things that we've done here in Arizona, the things that we've created with Miss Gay Arizona as well, has been something that's been very special to me. So that's kind of how I got started. And here I am still 20 years later, about to probably wind up with that sometime in the next couple of years. But, you know, I'm kind of just moving forward.
Yeah, I love that. And I think for you, just to give you a little bit of the love, because you're just so authentically yourself, and you just like give off all this great energy. And I could imagine being someone that's reigning under you with you, because I just feel like you're just so supportive of everyone, and you just want the best for everyone is what I get from you, because we get to interact with a few times a year, right? And
Right.
we've met each other a couple times, and it's just nothing but just that positive, good energy. And I have to even say, like, checking out your because I checked out your socials, and of course, as the girl that I am, and just the stuff that you're doing for our community too is actually so commendable as well. The stuff that you did during the pandemic and raising a lot of money just to help for the good causes is just awesome. So hats off to you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. And so, Susie, I just want to bring up about Daniel talking about your creative side and everything, because, there's so many things that I want to ask everybody, but I want to talk to you a little bit about because you bring so much to the America system, and you had a wonderful reign, and you just do so many great things every year. But the one thing that really stood out to me was when you do the former review show.
Mhm.
And you started doing this whole production. It was like, I think it was 2 years ago or 3?
It's been every year, I think. I've always had just building on it, yeah.
You,
For sure.
you
So I said this, I touched this with the introduction. I don't do drag every day. I don't do it for a job, but I love it as much as anybody that does it 24 hours and lives, eats, and breathes it. I just have a performance background. I used to tour with Disney. I was Mowgli on ice. I did cruise ships. I was a competitive ice skater when I was a child and early adult before I went into cooking. So I always had rhinestones, but I had blades, not heels, right? I love big production. I was always exposed to professional, real deal, unionized company shows, not just little bar things. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's just what my MO is. That's what pushes my buttons really in a good way. And, it turns me on. So when I discovered the America system, I was like, this is perfect. I can get my drag fix, my creative fix, my design fix, my production fix with real lights once a year if I make it to the big stage, right? So then after I won, I was like to Daniel, I was like, well, what do I do now? I wish I could still compete. And I was like, you know what? I'm still going to put together a production because I don't do this every day. And if you think about it, if you do the math, if I had $50 outfits every single day, my entire life, it would be one production that I do and Miss Gay America for the review show. So I kind of keep all the stuff and I get the crystals and not the glass stones, and I give it all to you one night, at the review show before final night. And I love that. I love incorporating and giving the relationship I have with my dancers, that we get to still look forward to that production together, because I miss them. I love working with them, even though they're working for me during competition. We're family now, So every chance I get to celebrate everybody's talents, I want to do that. And just because you win doesn't mean you hang it up. You're still creative and you want to keep pushing it. And I also like to show the contestants what it could be,
and you do. And I actually have to agree, and you're also just even elevating yourself, the system, and all of that, and I just think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. So
and it's super fun. I mean, why would I? I mean, it's either that or sing in the shower to myself. I'd rather do it for you guys on stage.
I love that so much. And also, just a little heads up, I heard that you ice skate. I think that there's a competition for drag queens that ice skate. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm done competing. I do it if there's a booking fee. So I've done it before. I hosted an ice show at Vail or Aspen Gay Ski Week, and I was the MC in drag, but all the other skaters were Olympians.
Okay.
So I was just kind of the connector of it all. But yeah.
Well, I can't skate for anything. So yeah. Well, thank you so much, Susie. So Brooklyn and Janice, the Miss Gay Diamond America promoters. So for everyone just watching, Janice, where is Miss Gay Diamond America located?
It is, it's in Arkansas. It's an open regional. Last year it was at Fort Smith, and we're going to have it in Fort Smith again this year, Fort Smith, Arkansas. It's a good location.
Very nice. And how many years did you have? This is your second year promoting?
Okay, so I promoted two city preliminaries to Miss Gay Arkansas for a couple of years. This will be my second year to promote Diamond.
Okay, I love that. And then Brooklyn's coming in, which I love that. So Janice, what brought you into the America system?
As somebody else blamed it on Lucinda, I'm going to blame mine on Athena Sinclair because Athena was a friend of mine, and then she was going to compete in Miss Gay Arkansas, so I had to go watch her, and she won. So I kind of got involved that way. And the next year, I thought, oh, this is cute. I'm just going to go watch her do her give up, and I've been hooked ever since.
So when you got hooked, was there one thing that got you hooked, or was it the whole vibe? Like
It's all of it. I can't explain. People don't understand why I love drag so much, and I can't. It's magical to me. Watching people get ready, you go from one person to another. It's just magical, and I just like all the glamour and the glitz and the so much talent and talent, not even just by singing or dancing, but talent by makeup. People designing their own jewelry, like Brooklyn does, designing their clothes. I mean, it's just there's so much talent, and it's I don't know. There's just the grandeur of it all, I guess.
I agree. Well, I love watching you there too, because you're smiling the whole time too. You're just having a ball too, which is what it's all about, right? I think it's like,
is.
if you're not having fun, then why are we doing what we're doing, right?
Right.
Competition is a competition, but we're all there to have fun and just, support each other. So I think that's absolutely fabulous. So Brooklyn, you make jewelry. Is that what
Yes, I do. Yes.
Do you want to, can people order through you?
Yes. They can contact me on my Brooklyn Facebook or on Honey Buns Boutique, either way. And there is a little bit of sample work on there, and I love to do commissions and events and all of that. So yeah, I think this is my almost 5th year in business, starting here pretty soon.
I think that's fabulous, and they can even check you out on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram. Yeah,
I think that's fantastic. I want to try. I've been sewing a little bit more and trying to perfect my craft, but I'm telling you, that's the one thing. I'm sure it's not. I feel like I could do it. It's just a little overwhelming, and then the little pieces, putting it together, and
that's how I feel about sewing. I think we all find our little spot where we find therapy and all of that in creating, and then there's the ones that wreak havoc on our nerves, and that's the ones that are not for us. So
I agree, and I love how you brought up the therapy thing, like to just kind of like do your, I guess we'll even just say, I guess it's not really mindless, but like get your mind off everything else,
right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I agree, and I think that's what sewing does for me now too.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you like to do that helps you kind of zen yourself?
A lot of things that don't have to do with drag. I love to create things in general. I love to garden. I love to kayak. I like to do that kind of stuff. Those things all bring me a lot of peace. But when it comes to creating, I mean, it's kind of been a job for a long time, so I'm lucky in that way. It just kind of it varies all across the board. When I'm doing jewelry, of course, I want to make sure that I make someone else happy, but in other ventures of creativity, I'm able to just kind of make sure I'm happy. And it can be something on Pinterest or just something. It's kind of all the time. It just kind of is sort of the way I am. Like my whole office is just drag props and
I love it. Yeah, I can
random things. Yeah. So
I love that. So I of course checked everyone's social medias out, like I said, and I was loving your social media too. Brooklyn is there; she is present. I loved even the videos that I got to see. I got to see everyone performing too. I think Daniel was dancing around somewhere. There was a picture of Daniel somewhere. I have
performed once on stage.
You did?
I did in drag.
And where
Athena Sinclair painted me. And it was at Sway. And what I was doing for my birthday is I held 3 birthday parties. And I had performers who gave their time. And we raised money for 3 LGBTQ organizations in Arkansas.
That's fierce.
We raised over $3,000 in 3 days.
That's amazing. Do you have pictures of you in drag?
Yes, it's on my Facebook page.
Oh, I guess I didn't do very.
You didn't go back far enough.
I know what I'll be doing when I get off this live tonight.
Okay.
Is finding your things.
There's a video somewhere.
I'm loving that. But you know what I love? that's a fun, fabulous experience, but you did something for good causes too, which is always right in my heart. I love that so much. Okay, so why don't we go around? So I want to shift gears real quick, so as we're going to dive back into the pageant system, because we love the America system so much, and I want to talk about how we have other divisions now. We have the Esquire, we have the Femme, and the world is our oyster. But I want to go around, and I kind of want everyone to maybe talk, because I know, Susie, you were saying you have a daughter. I would love if everyone feels comfortable maybe talking about, like, if they have a partner or someone or children, or just kind of give everybody a little more insight about you as far as your home and who you are. Janice, are you okay if I put you on the...
It's good to say, am I starting again?
Oh,
So family dynamics have changed a little recently, and we won't go into that, but I'm an ally. And so I try to get connected with the community through my family, friends. I don't have anybody that I'm related to necessarily that is LGBTQ, but I got into the scene, call it the scene, about 5 years ago when George Floyd was murdered. And so that's my why date. Why do I do what I do? And that's my why date. And that radicalized me. And it didn't just go into Black Lives Matter. It spun all the way around and it went everywhere. So any marginalized community. I've testified before the Arkansas State Senate before, and I've done rallies and all of that. So that's who I am as a person.
I love that. And when people who are watching or whomever check out your social media page, you definitely get your message out there. And I think that's such an amazing, because having a voice is power, right? And so you're sharing your voice, and I love that so much.
Thank you.
Do you have any pets?
Could you not hear them? I have 3 dogs, 2 Chihuahuas, and a French bulldog.
Do they keep you busy? Because I feel like the Chihuahuas would.
They do.
Well,
They do.
I love that. Well, thank you, and thank you for what you're doing with your voice as well.
Thank you.
Brooklyn, how are you doing over there?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your home life.
So my schedule, like I said, is different than most people's because of my jobs. And so I kind of just do jewelry whenever I want, and I teach at night. I'm single and looking. And finally, I wasn't for a while, but I'm kind of bored. So, and I want someone to do some fun summer things with. I have 3 dogs, and they do keep me busy. They're my best friends because, like I said, I do work from home, so they're kind of my coworkers. My mom lives in my neighborhood, and we're close, and so we get to have lunch on a regular basis. And when I go do drag or promote things or whatever, she's able to come over and look after my dogs for me while I'm gone. And yeah, my family's tiny. It's really just me, her, and my stepdad. I don't have any siblings. All the grandparents have passed on and all of that. So it's a pretty small family, and I'm lucky for the chosen family I have. Janice is definitely, and then my friend Ron and Little Rock, they are both like, they're more than blood family to me. And so I'm very lucky in that way. And that's who I tend to spend my time with when I can on the weekends where we're free and stuff.
I love that. I'm trying to look right now because I don't mean to be rude, but because I messaged out to someone in Little Rock area, the Equality Crew, I think they are. Does that sound familiar?
Equality Crews in Fayetteville.
How far is that from
Northwest Arkansas? I live in Fayetteville, so it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes from Little Rock.
Okay, because I'm always looking to do, like, obviously charity work with things that we do, and I'm trying to like see what's needed in Arizona, Little Rock, more closer to Little Rock, but wherever. So that was just something that made me think of that because I'm lightly talking to them out there because, like I said,
yeah.
Right.
So
Intransitive in Little Rock is a good organization to get involved with that helps transgender people.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Thank you. Sorry, it wasn't. I was just trying to because I didn't want to forget that question. But I love that.
Also, Patty LaPlace has a lot of small charities that she kind of does things for throughout kind of the northwest corner of the state. So That's another one. A lot of people think, Little Rock is kind of all of where drag is or where the LGBT people are, but we actually have the biggest pride celebrations and things like that up here in my part of the state. And unfortunately, with the political climate, we've lost a lot of our sponsorships, like through Walmart and other people.
Yeah.
Lots of money that was taken. And so, we are definitely looking for help in those regards as well.
Well, let
And
me
we'll say Patty LaPlace Safe is Miss Gay America 1995.
5,
yes.
Yeah,
And
and she grew up in Arkansas, moved away for most of her life, and came back just a few years ago. So it's a pleasure to have her here and helping out with stuff like that too.
she is the sweetest too.
She is.
Oh, she is. We did 2 shows together on Saturday and road tripped it all across the state, and I'm like, wow, she's keeping me young. I don't think I had to keep up with her, so it was a good time.
When you see her, tell her Morgan says hi, because she just, she makes you feel like $1 million. That one.
She does. I love her. I will do it.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Susie, so you have a daughter.
Yeah,
So
I do. I have a daughter. She was not an accident. It wasn't a weird night out and I got pregnant. I planned this one. I did the math in my life, how I wanted my timeline to be. A lot of personal accomplishments that I'm very proud of, MGA being one of them, but a missing thing in my life was to be a father. And I always wanted to be a father. I've always seen myself as a father, more so than a husband. I don't think I can marry myself or live with myself anyway, so I think that's probably the wiser decision. So I went through the ritual of surrogacy and IVF through many, many years. I did the math, I did the planning, much like you should do for your pageant packages, right? So I did all of that to make sure that I had all my bases covered. I had some great mentors that have been single parents through surrogacy in the big spotlight and limelight. They've been kind of mentoring me that I've worked for before. And I knew that I had the tools financially, mentally, I'm still getting there, but I knew that I knew what it was going to take to be able to have a seamless experience for the most part. The bills are still coming in, but I definitely wanted to do this, and I would do it again if I could, make a few more dollars to do another one. But literally, you do everything you can. I tried the adoption route. It was really difficult being a single gay man in Nashville, in Tennessee. Also, I'm from Thailand, and so my family, we support orphanages in Thailand and in Burma, and I thought I would have an in that way. And right around the time of COVID, I had an opportunity, but then that opportunity got shut down because I couldn't get there to meet the child. And through frustration, a mutual friend was like, just do it on your own. Just make it yours and nobody can take it away or deny you. And the process was a lot faster, even though it took 3 years. Adopting would have been a lot longer, and just fostering in the whole system and not knowing. And so Henley is part me and part one of a couple donors, and she's in my life now and pretty much is already me. She's definitely my child.
how old is she?
She's 18 months. She just started school. She's my daughter for sure.
It is very inspiring to hear stuff like that. Because, you can have all that you want, right? That you dream for. It's just putting yourself out there, being relentless, and going for it.
Yeah, I think it's about just setting goals and being realistic about what you can manage and do for yourself. And then once you achieve those goals, keep pushing yourself and ask yourself, what is the next thing you want? And this is something that it's what else am I going to do? Spoil myself? Why? This is I'm very blessed and grateful that a lot of successful things have come my way. And a lot of talented people have entered my life to inspire me. But parenthood is something that I want to pass that legacy on, not just to my chosen family and children or people to follow, but in the pageant world or community, but something of my own blood, And fortunately, she's gifted me that. So
I love that. Is there any fun songs that you like to sing now with her?
Miss Rachel is on permanent role on our TV. We do the alpha. I like at night when I think I'm a songwriter and she just wants to hear my voice and I can't rhyme or sing or hold a tune and she just still falls asleep to it. She's probably my only fan. But she's in music school, so hopefully she'll carry the tune.
I love that. I think that, like I said, I'm gushing over it because I think it's very inspiring that you did that for yourself, but you did that for you know, your daughter. Like, I just think it's amazing. So, and everyone watching hopefully gets inspired from that too. If you thought that you wanted to do it, you can do it.
Yeah, it's not easy by all means. It's not easy, and it almost feels unattainable. But you know, it's just
Yeah,
it,
it's a little
it's
process. It is.
yeah.
I actually did. I started going through the route as well of doing surrogacy and whatnot. And you have to go yourself first, get checked out, and then you have to do this and that. It was a very interesting experience. I'll tell you that much. But
and you know, I have I have about 13 embryos still frozen, and the interesting thing is like you can't sell these embryos, but you can donate them. So I think the good thing is like if anybody out there wants a child, I've reached out to some friends that want children, and I know the process. I can get you halfway beyond where I had to start. If you want my bloodline in your family, just let me know. I can definitely donate.
Put it in the comments, everyone. I live. But everyone in this panel gets first dibs, right?
Yeah. That's it. It'll be in your stocking for Christmas.
I love that. Daniel, so what's it like over in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, so I live in Phoenix. I was an Arizona native, born and raised. I'm married. I've been with my husband for 15 years total, but we've been married for 12. He promoted with me with Western States a couple years. Big supporter. I know that there are a lot of people out there that don't understand drag or don't understand what it takes to promote or what it takes to compete, but he definitely is front row center at most of the things that we do. So I'm very blessed to have somebody that understands it and that understands that it's part of my, everyday life. So, but yeah, I work for Arizona State University. I've been there for 11 years. I just celebrated my 11th year there. I do a lot of things here in the community. I'm the president of the Phoenix Pride Board of Directors. Finishing my last year, which will be great at the end of the year. So then I can focus on something else after that. But yeah, I just like to keep busy, and drag definitely does that. Work definitely does that. My family lives in Tucson, which is 100 miles south, so I get to see them a lot. I have a 10-year-old niece who has been such a blessing in our lives. She is starting to throw shade just as much as any queen does, and I love to be able to throw it right back to her because she gets a little we go back and forth. I love her. She's great. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. But
so I see a bunch of awards behind you. So you were nominated this year for the Excellence Award, correct?
Yeah, I received the Excellence Award this year, and I think I was nominated for Promoter of the Year. But yeah, I mean, doing it for 20 years, I've been very blessed to get recognition from several Miss Gay Americas, and obviously the awards are great, but being able to help kind of people reach their goals and dreams are kind of why I do it. But yeah,
which is why you get the award too, because that's amazing.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So why don't we dip back into the promoter side of it, if that's okay, Daniel, and let's talk about so I do remember you saying something about like the things that you've built within your system. Can you talk a little bit about that, things that you're like super excited about, or things that have already been locked in but you're still loving that's implemented in your...
I think the one thing we're blessed at within Arizona is that we're kind of far away from kind of America. Like we have a little bit of it in California and a little bit of it now in Nevada with Sin City, but we've always been kind of on the other side of the country, and so we kind of get to do things a little bit different here. But we have such a strong system. Phoenix and Arizona is definitely an America state. People love Miss Gay America. They love Miss Gay Arizona, and we've had a lot of success with Miss Gay Arizona here. We've had several of our contestants in the top 10 and the top 5, and it's just because the community supports it, the formers support it, the city preliminary promoters support it. you know, we've been very blessed. I was very blessed to have 3 Miss Gay Americas, you know, win under me through Western states. We've come very close with Arizona. But, you know, we're kind of knocking on that door. But I think it's, you know, I think it's just the support that the community gives us here in Arizona is something that I don't take for granted. It's something that I try to instill in our Miss Gay Arizonas to go out in the community, to, you know, give back to the community that's giving us so much. So I think that's kind of like, that's one of the special things that we do have here is just our community and our community within Miss Gay Arizona, whether that's the formers, the contestants, the city promoters. You know, we go back and forth a lot, you know, we have a lot of tiffs, but at the end of the day, we come together when it's time to put on, you know, Miss Gay Arizona. And, you know, that's coming up soon. It's about a month away. So, you know, we're excited. We have 14 contestants qualified. It's going to be a great preliminary. So
that's going to be an 8 to 12.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be crazy. It's going to.
May I jump in for a second about that? I want to commend Daniel or anybody that has a state preliminary that still does it with city prelims. Because, you know, people that are just joining in the American system to qualify for nationals, that's one thing. But luckily, my first reign was Miss Tennessee America, and I got to experience my mini celebrity as being the America for the state with my city prelims, understanding really hands-on how to be a leader and to promote as a reigning queen with people under you, you know? So that's the best tool possible for a Miss America hopeful, is to be able to go through the city ranks first and understand kind of that, because I see this a lot because I judged you last year, great job. You know, but I see this a lot with when people come in, just jumping in at a regional level, and we ask the question, it's inevitable, what does it take, or name me some duties you have. Somebody that's been a state title holder can answer that like with their eyes closed.
Right.
Because you just have to explain what you do in a day for the pageant, right? 100%. And I love that Daniel can still curate with his team 14 contestants having city prelims leading up to that grand event. It's great. It's awesome.
And it's fun because you have so much talent on that stage too, having all that. I don't know. Daniel, was it your prelim? Have you been posting flyers about your prelim? Because I just saw this stunning prelim with the gowns and the thing. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Oh, with the with all the contestants kind of in similar. Yeah, we did that last year. And we're so lucky to have Scotty Kirby here. I don't know if any of y'all have worked with Scotty. I know Susie has. But he's photographed Drag Race, Dragula. He is amazing. So we're lucky to have him in Arizona, and he's been photographing our Miss Gay Arizona since I think 2013. But yeah, last year our reigning Miss Gay Arizona friend Zia McKenzie was like, I really want all the girls to have a professional photo, but I think it'd be great if we can just release it leading up to the pageant, and they all kind of look similar. So it's all like Susie says, kind of curated in a way that it looks just seamless. And we did that again this year. And I think, you know, the girls serve it every year. So we're just very lucky to have the girls that are just wanting to do it.
It was a little intimidating. I'm telling you, it was a little intimidating. Everyone was looking fierce. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Oh. It's going to be a good pageant. I'm excited for it.
That's exciting. And what's the date of that? So everyone knows.
May 18th, Sunday, May 18th. So if y'all want to hop on a flight to Phoenix, that'd be great. But no, it's gonna be a fun pageant. So okay. Yeah, I'm excited.
I love that. I'm going to ask you one more question. Well, not real quick, but I'm going to ask you one more question real quick. So as a promoter for so many years, what's one thing that stands out to you that would be something challenging as a promoter?
I think for the regional side of it, I think it's figuring out how to. For me, one of the challenges that we always had as a regional promoter was getting and finding contestants. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Janice and Brooklyn can attest to that. But, you know, it's always every year, you know, after Miss America, you get a lot of people coming to you saying, oh, I want to come to your prelim. I want to do this. And, you know, by the end of Miss America, you have like 16 people that want to come to your prelim. But then by the time it all comes to fruition, you may have, you know, 4 or 5 contestants. But I think, you know, kind of figuring out how to engage them, and how to get new blood, and how to figure out, how to keep moving Miss Gay America forward. I mean, we're taking those steps, little by little, we're doing it. And Michael and Rob have done an excellent job doing that. But it's how to keep people engaged, because in the day of RuPaul's Drag Race or all the other systems that we have out there, people, find it very easy just to go from system to system. I think a lot of our contestants now are kind of in it and they want to be Miss America. But I think it's, figuring out how to keep them and how to keep their momentum and their dream alive. I think that's kind of one of the challenges.
I like that too, because I think that can be very challenging, because it's like you want to be relentless, you don't want to give up. So how do you keep that momentum going? Or is it okay to take a breath, but then still come back to the system that you love? So
right.
there's
Exactly.
definitely trying to find that balance. So Brooklyn and Janice. So more so, Janice first, I want to ask you as well, as just being a couple years, is there anything else besides trying to get contestants coming in that you find might be something challenging as well? More so now coming in as like a newer promoter, but also things that you're finding might be challenging.
Well, last year it was overwhelming for me, because being a city prelim promoter is one thing. There's not a lot of pressure on me, but to get a little job done. But then to be regional, it was like overwhelming. And so thankfully I had a team that helped me. Brooklyn helped me tremendously. And I'm very fortunate that Dextasy is a former Miss Gay Diamond.
Hello, I think she's watching, so she gave
and then I again had Patty LaPlace and Ron Standridge. I had a dream team that helped me, and so they helped me, not get overwhelmed. Brooklyn would reel me in because I would be so excited and I'd want to do things, and Brooklyn's like, settle down, just in due time. And so that was very helpful, because Brooklyn knew the side of competing where I didn't. And so, but I felt lucky and very fortunate that we had 5 contestants for my first regional prelim. And so I was excited about that.
I love that. And so Brooklyn, so was last year the first year you started doing the promoting side?
Well, I wasn't officially a promoter, but I helped her with everything I could.
Right.
I've promoted like city prelims to Miss Arkansas America years back. Co-promoted with other formers. And so I had experience with that. And like Susie was saying, when you have a state title and with preliminaries, you learn a lot. You gain a lot of experience and a small vision of what the job of being Miss America is. And so, you really have to sometimes coach a lot of promoters through every step of the way during that part of it, just because they want to promote, they want to help. We're happy to have them in the system, but they're learning as well. So I feel like that's a long answer to your question, but no, I feel like Janice and I are going to be great. Our strengths and weaknesses are total opposite, and when you put them together, it's a total serve. So I'm excited, and I know already that we will have at least 5 contestants.
I love that.
Year. Yeah.
I love confidence is key, honey. Confidence is key. So Brooklyn, what's one of the things that Janice was like needing you to comment?
Just one. He said just one.
I don't know why she lets herself get so frazzled, because she has lists and she's so organized, but those lists can be long sometimes when it comes to this, because Janice and I both try really hard to do things the right way. And so I think that's probably what overwhelmed her a little bit. Otherwise, she knows how to deal with people and to foresee. She's a teacher, she's an educator, she can foresee what might go wrong or what might be needed, and so she's prepared. She just needs to get more confidence and comfortable going in, probably with some more experience, I think is when she will see what we see.
Well, after you become the best new prelim of the year, I mean,
right, exactly. Yeah.
So.
Had a lot of help, and like I said, I could not have done it without, especially Brooklyn.
But you had the wisdom to know who you needed to help with different parts of things. Yeah, so that was good.
I agree. It's putting your aces in your places, right? And as much as, and I'm a Virgo, like I want to do everything myself, but yeah, you just have to know that you can't. I can't. and
Yeah.
you know, especially knowing that you want the best and the best, and you want to be the best, and you want the best for your contestants and everything. It's making sure it's all there and just having people help. So I think that's great, and I love seeing the two of you together too, because I think it's, you know, I know I met the both of you, and I just know that you both are going to be a good dynamic duo. So
Yeah.
excited to see all that. And then, do you have any date prelim?
October 4th.
Yeah.
October 4th is your big day.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I love that. Well, I know it's going to be amazing. Maybe I'll try and get out there.
We
You
would love
should.
to
You
have
never
you.
know. Would you
Uh,
let me know if you need an application?
Oh, well,
Right.
I'll tell you, Janice was looking at me with her beautiful eyes in the lobby at America this year, and I almost couldn't say no. She drives a hard bargain, that one. So
I'm even more convincing. So we'll
Okay.
talk. We'll see.
we'll see. We will see.
Sorry,
I mean,
Janice.
me starting my doctorate's program now. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you can do it if you can. Congratulations, and if you can do all of that, you can do anything. I'm a smart guy, but I barely got through chemistry in college, so I really respect everything that you do in that regard.
Thank you. I decided my whole thing coming up is I might even consider. I mean, I say this loosely, but compete. I guess it would be competing for the presidential position as the United States as Nurse Morgan. Because I
Uh-huh.
think Nurse Morgan just wants to help.
Uh-huh.
And not to talk politics, but I'm just saying, like, that was my aspiration. I even looked it up online, and I was like, wait a minute, can I actually get on the ballot? And
Yes, you actually could.
I could. And I
And
was
you
like,
would.
and my little shout out for myself is my slogan is it can't get any worse. So,
Right.
Oh, yeah, it would be a vast improvement.
not that I want to talk about politics on a live, but here we
No.
are. But no, I just like I said, having a great support system with promoters is just monumentous for us as contestants, and just creating this awesome space for people who just want to show their love and support for the America system. You're creating that space for them to allow that to happen. So thanks again for all of that. And then with Susie, with her amazing numbers that she does once a year, it's like, no, I love it. I love it so much.
I feel Susie on that. I like drag and I want to do it occasionally and do it right. But that's a
Right.
great plan that I'm going to morph into myself. Miss Diamond, I'll give him a real big number every year.
Yeah, and then if you have dancers, you don't have to dance.
Okay, yeah. And if I do try to dance, I'll make sure Morgan's there to
I will
save
stand on my
me
X.
with some albuterol.
Oh my, I got you. Susie, I do want to switch gears a little bit and go back to your competitive side of Miss Gay America, because that's a big part of you as well.
Yeah,
And so in 2017, you won the crown.
I did.
Was that, now how many times did you compete before you were crowned Miss Gay America?
I competed 3 times before, but I took a skip year and then came back and won. And you actually touched base on this earlier. So I did it. I competed 4 times in 5 years. I did the first year not knowing what I was doing. I met Cody Collins at Play. She came in, she was the reigning. And Deranged, I don't know if you know who Deranged is, in Florida, was like, you really should think about doing the America system. You'd be great. And I had to do my homework on that. And I came in to a city prelim, twirled like I was figure skating in gown, got last place in gown, but won everything else and got 4th or whatever. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a platform like I always wear, ruby slippers. I was so proud to show them off. So I got appointed to Miss Tennessee, and in a couple of months I figured it out and I won Miss Tennessee. And then I kind of slow and steady figured it out. But you lose yourself a little bit because you get all these people that want to help you, and you get a yes team behind you that kind of make you lose your direction. So when I decided to take a year off, I did it intentionally to sit back and be in the audience to watch the whole year. And I went to all the stuff still as if I was competing, but I didn't compete.
Mhm.
And I knew I was going to come back to compete, but I was doing my homework in terms of what queens do I like on stage? Who is their promoter? Would I want to consider working with them? What's their dynamic in the audience? What's their dynamic backstage? And I slowly figured, I narrowed it down to a few preliminaries that I wanted to do. And Daniel's preliminary Get Western States is one of them, because I just love the family and the style that the Arizona teams had. And I felt that I could be my individual. I could be an individual within that realm, but still have that support So I came back in my 5th year, and I won the 5th year of my 4 times competing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I do like hearing that like promoters and stuff are still, no, I don't want to use the word allowing, but like giving that opportunity to still you be your individual self.
Yeah.
and
So the biggest
support.
the
That's-
biggest experience for me that I loved was that because I say that drag is my golf. It's my expensive hobby. It's not really my job, right? So I have a tight knit community of drag here, but I had Susie Wong's House of Yum. I was the boss. I wasn't in the cast. So to have family, to find that family was important to me within the America system. And I wanted more than just a promoter to get me a ticket. I wanted somebody that was going to be part of my journey and part of my life, which we were pretty inseparable, me and Daniel. But the one thing that he said to me at the beginning, and he says it to all of his queens, I know this, is that I will be there as much or as little as you want me to be or need me to be, or something in that vein, in that breath, right? And I definitely I used him as much. Him doing that opened the gates for me and greenlit our friendship, because we were on the phone nonstop, all the time getting ready for the pageant. But I think that's what the promoter does. It's their place to guide you based on what your needs are, but not tell you what to do.
Yeah.
They're there to support your decisions and give their opinions, but their opinions aren't definitely necessarily the direction you should go.
Right.
They're just there to help support your call and really help you become the best that you can create for yourself. And I think that's very important in terms of, speaking of, how do you retain contestants? How do you get contestants for promoters? And I think proof is in the pudding. Through your work and through your experience and through your resume, people will start flocking to you as a promoter based on how you treat, by word of mouth. I mean, queens love to gossip, right? We love to talk. And so like, oh, you need to go here, you need to go there, things like that. This is who you should work with next. And that's exactly how I got to my crown, was, again, curating your dream team, like Janice said. Your all the people that are behind you that can help you be the best that you are is what you need. Not necessarily your yes team, right?
Right.
But your pro team to get you your needs.
I agree.
Yeah.
So for your step down, what was your theme for your step down?
Le Cirque MGA. So I was, like I said, I was an ice skater back in the day, and I toured the world doing that. And a big part of me was love going to Cirque shows and things like that. An ex of mine was one of the directors of a Cirque show, and I was just in love with the soundtracks. I was always inspired by the avant-garde, just the quirkiness and the punk of it all. So the theme was really kind of fantastic. Unfortunately, we had a hurricane in New Orleans that year, so our review show, did it happen? We didn't have a review show. We ended up, actually, you saw part of my review show this year at our review show. This year, I kept the costumes. But we basically, we had the pageant at 3 p.m, so everyone could get home and get safe. Yeah. And I didn't really, my gown wasn't even finished when I got on stage for my step down. It was still like, our timeline was I had 3 more days or 2 more days, and we had to get in and out. Yeah. But it was really beautiful. It was fun, really, really fun.
Such a creative idea for a themed idea, and it actually makes me, because I was, you have the fun hats. You always have the looks. But I'll tell you, like, that it makes sense now that you said that about the cirques and stuff like that. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So because I could talk to you all for another hour, but I'm not going to hold you that long. But I do want to go around first and have everybody maybe say something that I didn't bring up that maybe you want to talk about on the live feed. I think that would be amazing for all the viewers as well as myself. It doesn't necessarily have to tell a fun fact about yourself, but like just something that you want to talk about, and that would be lovely. Janice, I'm going to throw the ball.
So I lived in a little town called Greenbrier, which has 5,000 people in it, very red, in a red state. But about 4 years ago, I founded Greenbrier Pride. And so it's still going today. We have a drag show. We feed the people that come. We offer a safe space. And I'm also on the board of Central Arkansas Pride. So I try to get involved with the community that way, and offer safe spaces for folks.
I love that. You all impressed me, and I can't say that enough. But Janice, it's interesting because you had said something like you don't have anybody that's queer in your family, but you just fell in love with the community, and just your passion and drive for what you do for the community is just amazing, and we need more people like you in this world,
Thank you.
because it's just like
Chosen family. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's seriously chosen family.
I agree, and I just, I hope you hear it at least once a day. Thank you for all that you do, because you deserve that.
Thank you.
Brooklyn, how's it going?
It's good.
So,
I wasn't sure. I wasn't aware I was going to need to have something prepared for
you're
that.
not, you
So just kind of continuing on with what Janice said in my part of the state, you mentioned NWA Equality. They have every year, they do free HIV testing all year long, and you just make an appointment to do that. But they also have, they partner with the Abbey of Hillbilly Harlots, which is one of the chapters of Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. And they together produce Friendsgiving here in Fayetteville every year, and they serve anywhere between 500 and 1,000 people in the community, queer people kind of first, and then allies and other people join as well. I'm trying to think. Again, with Patty LaPlace, she's done so great at finding all these little small charities in the region that need a little bit of help here and there, and kind of spreading the love. And that's sort of what I'm focused on now. And this part of my life is giving back. I've been on stage and I've had fun with that part of it, and I want to help other people reach their goals and also help people in need in our community. And I feel like that Janice has really inspired that part of me. And that was a big part of the beginning of my career, and then it seemed like some of those opportunities disappeared, and I'm glad that new ones have come about, and I have someone to do those things with. So yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, your answers were amazing, and though you were not prepared, which is even better, because I'll tell you, you're authentically conversating about that. It's inspiring to me. Like, I know I do my part too, but I'm telling you, just listening to everybody talking about the great things that you do for our community and the support, it's just, well, I feel the energy and the love even through the live. So thank you as well, Brooklyn, for just putting it out there. It takes a village, right? So
yeah, the only regret I have is leaving the classroom before all of this stuff happened with trying to make drag illegal in Arkansas and all of that, because I could really have some opportunities there. But I can still help. And when I was in the building, when I was in the middle school building, I had a few kids come talk to me privately and ask me if I was a gay man and things like that, and confide with me a little bit. So that's been a rewarding part too. But that would be my only regret or wish, that I could have raised a little bit of hell being a teacher that does drag, but hey.
Well, there's always time.
Right. That's true.
We're not done. We're not done. So
right. Oh yeah.
So, well, thank you
That's
so
for
much,
sure.
Miss Susie.
What was the question?
There wasn't really a sorry, there wasn't really a question. I wanted to make sure that I found the space of time for everyone. If you wanted to share something
Sure.
that maybe I didn't ask, or it's just on the tip of your tongue that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, there's so many things. Let me think. So in terms of charity work, I think the beauty of the Miss Gay America pageant system is that we are so community involved and community motivated, and I feel that sometimes we see people getting really involved maybe a week before the pageant so they can say something on their platform and interview. But I think it's really important for us to kind of do our piece and do our part year round and be consistent with that. And I don't mean raising millions of dollars if you don't have the bandwidth to do that. I do work with charities that are smaller than the orphanage that my family does in Asia. I work locally in Nashville, and during season, I feed 30 LGBTQ homeless youth every week out of my restaurant. During off season, it's only 8, right? But I know that every Thursday they're gonna get a warm meal from me, and that's what I can control, and that's what I can handle, is to cook basically 2 tables of food and give it to somebody that needs it so they can focus on that money on buying shampoo, brushes, a phone card or whatever. I don't mind roasting 2 chickens. And I've been doing this for like 8 years of my life every single week. So like there are things you can do on a smaller scale that, or on my birthday, I give out sanitation kits to the homeless. I did little packets that like Rob and Michael send me toothpaste and toothbrushes for, so like there's things you can do that don't break your bank or really take too much time. And as you start to do it more, people want to be involved. And I really encourage that, because you have that voice. And if you have a presence, it shouldn't just be to promote a show or a sponsorship for your prize package. You know, it should be something where just we should always give back a little bit, and always it's a
Yeah.
reminder, because that's what we're doing this for.
Mhm.
If we're going to be
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, please.
I want to kind of touch base or just bring it up about if someone's watching right now, and anybody can answer the question too, about, so say I want to help. So then what do you do, right? So, and I think that's the question of like,
It's definitely a question. I mean, basically, everybody has a social media presence or is on social at some point, and you can see. I think helping locally to where it's within arm's reach is really important. I mean, big organizations like Red Cross and big like Trevor projects are big, but I often question: does all of my effort go to the cause, or is it 10% after all of the office, the things?
Yeah.
I know that my 2 roasted chickens are going to 8 people.
Mhm.
And I know that they come to pick it up, and it's from me to them, you
Mhm.
know? So if that's where you want to start, I think find something local that you can make an impact on, with.
And that's how I even was bringing up about in Arizona, because I wanted to try and do stuff out there, because, my love for America, the America system is intense. I love it so much, but I also want to because that's where they house the pageant system, and I wanted to see what was in the area to see what I can do to my part. And I just went online and I just checked things out, made phone calls and messages, and and then just asking what can I do to help.
I mean, if you think of the philosophy of what we're doing, right? We put on wigs and lashes and gowns because we're, maybe for me personally, fulfilling a childhood fantasy of that Miss Universe dream that this is the closest I could achieve. But I'm also doing it not to be hidden in a dark room with no spotlight on me. So if there's a spotlight on you, you have an opportunity not to just to celebrate yourself, but also to help and celebrate in other ways.
Yeah.
And it's a win-win for everybody by being able to use your platform. So I advocate for that, especially in the America system, because that's what we do best.
Yes, they do. Yes, we do. Daniel.
I think to piggyback on everybody, I think if somebody is looking how to start, organizing or how to start with, charity work, I think looking at your own local, what you have locally. And I think Brooklyn mentioned about, a lot of prides in a lot of small areas, even a lot of big areas are starting to lose sponsorship because of a lot of things that are going on in our country right now. So every little piece helps. I know Janice probably knows, she's on the board of directors for a pride. Even our board here in Phoenix, for as large as we are, are losing sponsors and trying to be more creative on how we connect to our community, but also how we keep giving the opportunities that we do, right? And so I think just, starting small, starting locally, like Susie said, almost everybody has an LGBT center, a pride center. I was involved here locally with the Imperial Court of Arizona. So the Imperial Court is something that's large within the country as well. But I think definitely, or they can reach out to any of us, right? And we can kind of gear them to the right direction. But kind of going back to pageant, I think what Susie mentioned about curating a team, I think is very important. I think for any of the contestants that are out there listening, doing your research on your promoters and understanding that your promoters are there for support. They're not there for, to fund your package. They're not there to, do everything for you, but you want that team that's going to be able to, that you're going to be able to bounce ideas off of, that you feel comfortable with. So definitely do your research on who you want to spend your time with as a promoter, because you're giving your money to them. And in return, hopefully you're getting something back for that. And spend a lot of time, thinking about what you want and not surrounding yourself with yes people. I think so many times you see so many people disappointed after each pageant, at a national pageant, but you need to take a step back and say, did I do everything that I possibly could have, or is there something that I could have done? Maybe one of the things is, did you surround yourself with all those people that you really needed to? So, in all the years that I've been doing this, you see it year after year. I think we're getting a lot better with people kind of realizing things, but I think for sure, surrounding yourself with people that that you know are going to get you to where you want to go.
Mm.
And I think also because of our political climate, I know we're not talking about politics, but I think us as promoters, us as drag enthusiasts, I think we need to use our voices a little bit more, especially for those that are that can't. So that's kind of my little spiel on that.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Vote Nurse Morgan Helps for President of the United
Yes,
States.
absolutely.
Because I need that in my life, adding that to my resume. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you again all for joining me tonight. I know that I could spend another 2 or 3 hours just wanting to dive in more, and I look forward to continuing my relationship with each and every single one of you, and continuing to learn more, and just, you know, just sharing good memories with you all. So I want to wrap up, but I would love, as I say goodbye to everybody, if everybody could, I love doing this every single time, and I've already told you I was going to do it, but I want everyone to tell viewers their meaning of excellence, because that's what the America System is. It's about the symbol of excellence, and it's different for everyone. So we'll just, Janice, I love you a lot, but it's gonna be you again. But
That's okay.
because I'm gonna have you, say goodbye to everybody and what your meaning of excellence is, and I'm gonna pull you away. Okay.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here and promote Miss Gay Diamond and Miss Gay America pageant. Excellence to me is a process, and the end result that we should all strive for, but it means continuously learning, listening, and making changes when and where needed. So it's a process.
I love that. That was very good. Well, thank you so much for joining tonight.
Thank
and
you.
opening up your heart and self to everyone that's watching, and the America System too. We can do without you.
I appreciate you.
All right, thank you, my love. I'm gonna
Thank you.
Go.
Bye.
Bye, hon. All right, Miss Brooklyn.
Well, thank you for having me, and congratulations again to you. And also good luck on the next thing that's coming up. Well, several things, I guess, Miss America and more academic goals coming up. So anyway, thank you. And so I guess, I just wanted to kind of just give my heart on that. To me, excellence is just being inspiring and solving problems. And that's kind of the best way to say that in a short form. Solving problems is what Miss America does. She listens, she considers her resources, takes a moment to pause and not make a rash decision, and then make those connections and repairs. And being a good listener alone is a really difficult thing when you're balancing a lot of things and managing a lot of people. And if you can just do that part of it alone, to me, that is kind of excellent. And so just, inspiring others and being a positive force and a consistent personality. And I think that's kind of it. I don't want to ramble on too long.
No, that wasn't a ramble. That was good. You were hitting all the key points,
Yeah.
which I think that's fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Brooklyn, for everything tonight and sharing your stories as well. And
Yeah.
I know that Miss Gay Diamond America is going to be absolutely fantastic without a hitch.
For sure.
Thank
And
you.
I lived in Little Rock for many years. So if y'all need anything, anytime, and upcoming events, just let me know. And I'm happy to help out with whatever.
Before you go, one more time, can you just tell the viewers if they want to order some jewelry from you? Can you just tell them real quick?
Oh, yeah. Honey Buns Boutique. I'd love to do commissions. So, yeah, hit me up or just on my Brooklyn account. There's lots of things to look at. So I would love to do work for a lot of the America contestants, formers, family, everybody. So,
Well, I love that. Well, thank you again so much.
Thanks.
I'll talk
Y'all
to
have
you
a good week.
Thank you. All right, Miss Susie.
Oh man, so I could go so many ways with this. So I'm doing this as through a leadership perspective of excellence. All right. So for me, excellence is being honest, and that means being honest to who you are, to yourself, before you can deliver that to others. And by being honest, you also have to deliver on that promise of honesty. So practice what you preach, mean what you say, and follow through with what you say you're going to do and who you are. I basically don't be fake. And the first person and the first judge for that would be yourself. You have to be, and the term authentic is a weird one for me, but being honest and being a realist to who you are and delivering on that reality is the most important, because then then that's who you really, that's your wholesome self. So
That's
that's
it. it's besides. That's
Yeah.
I love that. So thank you again so much. You're amazing for taking time out of
Thank
your
you. Thank you,
sharing your
Dr.
story.
Nurse Michael Morgan. Morgan.
I'm gonna have to change my brand. What am I gonna do?
Nurse Morgan, PhD. Nurse Morgan, MD.
I'm too smart to be. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Well, thank you, my love. I can't wait to see you soon. Thank you again
All
for
right.
spending time with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Daniel, last but certainly not least, thank you for joining us tonight. I would love for you
Thank
to
you.
talk about your meaning of excellence as well.
Yeah, I think what excellence means to me is integrity. I mean, I think that's the bottom line. Do you have it or don't you? And I also think excellence is family, and I think we see that in the Miss America system. Every year we go back to Miss America, and it is like a big family. It is like a big, gay summer camp that we go, and we have all these bonds with each other, and when push comes to shove, we're all there together. So for me, excellence definitely entails your family, whether that's chosen, whether that's your authentic family. But I think definitely Miss Gay America is my family, and I feel that everybody involved with Miss Gay America are all excellent and show excellence in their lives in their own way. So
That's spectacular.
including you with everything that you're doing.
Well,
And thank you again for asking us to be here, and thank you for doing these things. I think this is so important, especially in our climate, but for contestants and promoters and people that love the system and don't know about Miss Gay America, they get a special glimpse into kind of like what we do and how we do it. So thank you for giving us this
I appreciate
platform.
it, and thank you for joining. It's my honor to have everyone on. So I appreciate you so much for
Well, thank you.
joining and all that good stuff. And I can't wait to hear about your fabulous prelim as well. When is it again?
May 18th.
And everyone's going to come fly out and see you in
Let's do it.
So
We love it.
congratulations again already for all your contestants, and a stunning promo photo. But
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
thank you. I can't wait to talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Well, that was a fantastic evening of conversation with these fabulous guests. I love and adore them even more than I already did, because they are just so kind, nice, and they are epitome of what I feel excellence is, which is their authentic, kind self. So once again, thank you again for joining. I can't wait to see you on the next podcast of Let's Get Down to Excellence, and I know you're not going to miss it. So please keep an eye out for the flyers for that. Also, make sure you save the date for October 17th, 18th, and 19th for the Miss Gay Delaware America prelims, and also the Femme Division as well. And I hope to see everyone soon. Thank you again for joining me this evening.